It has been 4 weeks since the US and Israel started those military strikes on Iran, plunging West Asia into war, while Trump has extended that pause on attacks on Iran's energy infrastructure now till the 6th of April. He is mulling deployment of 10,000 additional troops. And Tehran seems to be up for that challenge, having reportedly mobilized 1 million fighters for a potential ground war with the United States. In the early hours of Friday, in fact, Israel carried out a wide-scale strike on Tehran. It claimed to have attacked a base used by the Iranian army to train soldiers and store missile systems and production sites for missile components and batteries. So far, the IDF has struck more than 1,000 Iranian weapon production targets. And this left behind a trail of destruction. Rescuers were seen searching for survivors under the rubble of the destroyed buildings. This was in Tehran, also Urmia. Explosions were also heard in Isfahan amid overnight strikes by the US and Israel. Remember, Isfahan hosts a key nuclear facility, reportedly, which was earlier attacked during the war. Israel also attacked a place in the city of Yazd, what is described as Iran's most central site for producing missiles and sea mines for the country's navy. Despite Trump making it clear that the US is involved in negotiations with Iran, its military strikes continued unabated. So far, the US claimed to have struck over 9,000 targets in Iran and reportedly eliminated 92% of the large ships in Iranian Navy. On the other hand, there's a lot going on. Tehran's retaliation persisting. It has launched the 83rd wave of missile and drone attacks on various parts in Israel. It also claimed to have attacked Camp Buring and Ali Al Salam Air Base in Kuwait, Al Dhafra Air Base in the UAE, also the air base in Bahrain. Iranian state media also released footage of drones being launched at Tel Aviv. Yet again, residents of Tel Aviv heard sirens blaring in the early hours of Friday in anticipation of missiles and drones launched towards the city. In fact, Kuwait also came under attack. As per the country's Ministry of Public Works, its main commercial port was attacked. Additionally, its port of Mubarak al-Kabir was targeted twice by Iranian drones and cruise missiles. While infrastructure was damaged, no life was lost. Meanwhile, Israel's northern city of Naharia witnessed considerable damage from a barrage of rockets fired by Hezbollah. Homes with shattered windows and shrapnel damage seen at the site of the strike. Reeling under Tehran's retaliation, Israel's Defence Minister announced that the IDF will be intensifying its strikes on Iran.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and I have made it clear to the Iranian terror regime to stop firing missiles at the civilian population in Israel. Despite the warnings, the firing continues. Consequently, IDF strikes in Iran will intensify and expand to other targets in sectors that help the regime develop and use military means against Israeli civilians.
Now, despite Israel threatening to eliminate its leadership, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian made a surprise visit to a Tehran supermarket. He was seen interacting with the locals. Now, as the war drags on, concerns also mounting over depleting U.S. stockpile, with a new report claiming that U.S. military has fired over 850 Tomahawk missiles in the first 4 weeks of the war. Capable of traveling over 1,600 kilometers, these long-range missiles have been a key component of the U.S. strikes. The trouble for the U.S. and its allies is only mounting. While Trump claimed that Iran let 10 vessels of oil pass through the Hormuz Strait recently, IRGC has reiterated that this waterway remains closed for US, Israel and their allies. In fact, it claimed to have turned back 3 ships trying to transit through the Strait of Hormuz, reportedly. It added that this route was shut for vessels traveling to and from ports linked to the US and its allies. In another development, Israel continues to strike Lebanon. In an airstrike, 3 missiles targeted a building in Beirut's southern suburbs. The coastal city of Tyre also was attacked by Israel. As the war rages on, the human cost also mounting. The casualties increasing, Iran's death toll now surging over 1,900. On the other hand, 13 US military personnel have died. 200 others have been injured. Israel's intensified attacks have resulted in over 1,100 deaths in Lebanon so far. Is the Russian president turning to the country's richest elites, its oligarchs, for financial support? That question gaining traction after a report by the Financial Times claimed that Moscow intends to push forward with its war with Ukraine until it secures the remaining parts of the eastern Donbas region, still outside its control. According to the report, several oligarchs reportedly committed to financially supporting Russia in a closed-door meeting with the Russian president to reportedly help stabilize the country's finances as the war drags on. One of the billionaires reportedly pledged to donate as much as 100 billion rubles, that's 1.23 billion US dollars. The Kremlin has firmly denied the claims made in the report. The war, remember, started in February 2022, showing no signs of slowing down. On the battlefield, the situation remains volatile. Ukrainian authorities reporting Russian strikes over the past 24 hours killed at least 1 civilian and injured 13 others. Ukraine's Air Force saying Russia launched 102 drones overnight, including around 60 Shahed-type drones, and claims it intercepted 93 of them. In eastern Donetsk, Ukrainian officials saying at least 1 person was killed and another injured in Russian attacks. In Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv, meanwhile, at least 8 people were injured in drone strikes. Visuals showing a damaged high-rise residential building with upper floors damaged. In Dnipro, visuals showing firefighters battling flames in a residential building after an alleged Russian strike left 5 injured. Russia's defense ministry saying its air defenses intercepted 85 Ukrainian drones across multiple regions overnight. And satellite images now showing smoke still rising from Russia's Baltic port days after a reported Ukrainian strike. In Russia's Belgorod, located around 40 kilometers from the border with Ukraine, sirens continue to wail amid strikes. For many locals, it's becoming a part of daily life.
Missiles are constantly flying toward Belgorod. You've probably already noticed that here by now. Yes, the sirens go off all the time. Darts and missiles are flying. The situation is not very good, so to speak. People have gotten used to it, but it's hard and dangerous.
The war continuing to intensify on both sides, militarily as well as economically. A new COVID-19 variant has reportedly been detected in over 20 countries, including the UK and the US. The new variant reportedly has 70 to 75 spike protein mutations. The variant, reportedly descending from Omicron, has been making headlines. The highly divergent variant was first detected in a respiratory sample collected in November 2024 in South Africa. And according to the CDC, as of the 11th of February 2026, the variant had been reported in 23 countries. It says detection started increasing in September 2025. Let's tell you more about why this is significant. According to the CDC, the emergence of 2 sub-lineages of this variant identified through analysis indicating ongoing viral evolution. And according to the CDC, while the 2025 to 26 COVID-19 vaccines do provide protection against the currently circulating predominant US variants, In laboratory studies, the recently emerged strain efficiently evades antibodies, likely because of the spike protein mutations, highlighting the need for ongoing genomic surveillance and observational evaluations of vaccine and antiviral effectiveness. Meanwhile, the UK Health Security Agency is saying there is currently no evidence that this variant is more transmissible or causes more severe illness than previous variants. And according to a CDC report, on the 27th of June 2025, this variant was detected for the first time in the United States at the San Francisco International Airport in California in a respiratory sample collected from someone who had traveled from the Netherlands. The CDC labs cultured and characterized the specimen, sharing the results with collaborators and depositing the data at biodefense and emerging infection research resources. And on the 11th of November 2025, the variant was detected in a U.S. wastewater surveillance sample from Rhode Island. Monitoring the spread of this variant provides valuable information about the potential for this new lineage to evade immunity from a previous infection or vaccination.